How's it going, knife nerds? So today I have my bro David's XM18 3-inch non-flipper here, and let's see. So this is my second experience, actually third experience with a Hinderer made knife. I didn't really give great marks to the XM18 Spanto flipper that David previously loaned me. Wasn't my jam. He wanted me to check out another Hinderer because, you know, he's a big Hinderer guy, and he's looking to convince me that these knives don't suck. And I have had this now for a little minute, and I can't say that I hate the knife. It's not as bad as the XM18 non-flipper or flipper was that I, you know, messed with. This is the smaller 3-inch knife here, XM18. He told me it's an older version, and it is running on Teflon washers. And so no bearings here, and it's an old school Hinderer, and so it's kind of got some differences from the newer models. I have done some anodizing on this. It didn't look much different, but previously he still had the same blue anodizing. However, I took and refinished it and gave it a polished finish. It's very reflective polished finish. And then stone washed it and gave it two different colors in the anodizing. We got a blue and a bronze to, you know, give the peaks some highlights there, and it came out pretty cool looking. And so and then we of course gave it a satin, you know, bronze clip here. This is not a Hinderer clip. I believe this is a MXG gear clip. They look very similar to the Hinderer clip, so I guess it just works on here. But yeah, he does have a Hinderer clip with this as well that has some graphics on it, but I didn't want to re-anodize that, so he sent this spare one so that we could, you know, clean that up and change the color of it a little bit. And yeah, so we've got this one has mostly titanium hardware, titanium all up in here on the standoffs and the, you know, all the screws and stuff, all titanium anodized bronze. And it's got an extremely aggressive stone wash on the blade there, and it's the slicer grind with a drop point. And yeah, I don't know why they call it a slicer grind, because honestly this thing is super thick behind the edge for such a small 3-inch knife. Blade stock's not really overly thick, but just way too thick behind the edge for my taste. I'd like to see the profile slim down significantly on this knife, and then it'd be a good little, you know, utilitarian pocket, you know, knife. This one does not have a steel lock bar insert because it's the old school version. It's, you know, you can see that hole there where the detent ball goes into. So I don't think is there a steel insert in there? I don't know. Let me see. I can't remember. I don't think there is. Anyways, so no insert on this one. It's an interesting design too, where they have two sets of stop pins. So we have the stop pins here on the blade, and then it needs a secondary stop pin in the inside that is only mounted to one side of the scales, so you only see that one screw in the middle of the scale on the back side there. So that's an interesting design. And so that, when you come around there, the blade hits that to stop, and then, you know, your typical stop studs there. And so it feels really buttery smooth on Teflon washers. They're, you know, kind of notorious for having that really smooth feel to them. This one had a bit of a weak detent, and so when I did the anodizing, I retuned the lock bar and got the detent a little bit stronger, and now it it flies out pretty good with a thumb flick. And the thumb flick feels pretty good, not bad at all. Has a nice satisfying clack on lockup. My microphone tends to phase out when a loud noise happens. I need a new mic, this thing sucks. And so hopefully you can hear this. So very satisfying clack with that, you know, the steel stop pins hitting that titanium there. I very much like the sounds that the knife makes. It feels, it sounds very solid. Ergos, very good. It fits in the hand perfectly with, you know, no room to spare there. This is a 3-inch, so we're going to call it a smedium knife. And so I can at least get all 4 fingers on the knife, and I do like the ergos. And one thing I will say is that the jimping on this XM18 is far, far less aggressive than the one that I handled on the full-size XM18 that David sent me previously. This is much smoother and much less aggressive, and it feels exactly right. Like, you know, it's got some traction, but it's not finger shredding, and it's not oversized, and it's not sharp. So very much liking that. Also, the jimping along here is the same way, and the jimping along the thing here, I don't really feel any of that. I only feel the jimping on the thumb rest there, and it feels real good. I like it. So you can't, you know, this is on washers, so it's not really a drop shutting knife, but you can, of course, you know, flick it closed like so. And once I had, you know, put this back together and threw some nano oil on the detent ball and on the Teflon washers, man, it is just real nice feeling. But there's still a good kind of scrapey sound on the closing. And I believe, you know, that's kind of a side effect of having, you know, surface-to-surface contact on washers. Me being a bearing guy, I'm not really used to hearing that particular noise. It just sounds kind of, I don't know, it doesn't sound gritty, but it sounds like, I don't know, kind of nails on a chalkboard type of thing. So yeah, not a big fan of the sound of that. I do like the overall shape, size of the knife. It's too thick behind the edge for me. For this size of a knife, I want something that's a good cutter, you know, because it's just, in this size bracket, it's bigger than 5th pocket, but smaller than I would typically carry. And so, you know, if this thing was slicey, it would be pretty sick, but it's just not. You can see, this is not my edge. This is, I believe, David's edge. However, you can see that it's just, you can just tell that, you know, even though it's got a fat bevel, it's still kind of, I don't know, it's just super thick behind the edge. So yeah, that could be better. Overall, I'll give it a good, you know, good marks. It's not the worst thing I've ever handled. Would I buy it? No, definitely not. And it's just not my particular jam. You know, I even like the look of the shape of the knife. You know, the draw point and the handle shapes. It all looks really good. It's just, I don't know, it's just boring to me. I'm not excited about it. It's not like I'm racing out to find a Hinderer XM18 3-inch non-flipper now. But I greatly appreciate Mr. David sending this along and let me check it out. You know, as a non-Hinderer dude, you know, it's cool to be able to check them out and see what all the hype is about and experience it without having to pay the hefty sum of picking one up and then regretting it later down the road. So, you know, it's cool. I dig it. You know, shiny anodizing looks good on it. I think it would probably look better with a rough raw stone wash and just kind of a working type finish on there, like Hinderer. He called it the Hinderer working finish. That would probably look pretty good on this knife. And yeah, man, I appreciate you guys tuning in, and I got some new Knife Nerd stickers going on here, so when people loan me knives to review, or get some anodizing or modifying work done, they'll get some Knife Nerd stickers in the package when they get it back. And yeah, man. All right, we'll see y'all on the next one. Later.